Hello and welcome back, everyone. So it's me, Primus Gaming, and joined with me is Bodder, and we have restarted the race for F2 as we had a little bit of an issue because normally we have a formation lap on, and it was that was not included in the settings for this lobby. So it's also unfair on the drivers on the start because they need to, the formation lap is really handy, to warm up tyres, and also because no one was ready for the moment, there's no formation lap. It didn't help a load of people. And also we lost people like the man with the cash. Also, it allows Shane, Peppermeat, and a few others to actually get into their appropriate cars.
It does. It does. Very, very good point as well. The man with the cash was having a bit of an issue with his Xbox. So that'll be good for him. He'll be able to get into his car, into the lobby, ready to go. Good stuff. That's what we want to see. We want to see guys racing, especially good, clean, competitive guys that we have racing with us as well. It's just unfortunate because, you know yourself, I know in F3, I really, really like to warm up my tyres. The guys in F3 that I practice with or that have in my party at the time, they will tell you my wheel on a formation lap. You did a practice race with me, Primus. Remember we did Monza together? You're like, what's that sound in the background? It's like, yeah, that's my wheel. That's me warming my tires. Back to the left to right, left to right, left to right, slam the accelerator. And that's obviously how I broke my accelerator spring again. But anyway, that's a different story. Yeah. But look, it is unfortunate because you're there, you're sitting at the lights, and you're like, yeah, this is going nice and easy, 2, 1, and you have one green light, you're like, go. You're like, yeah, it's a nice practice formation, that type of thing, but then you're like, yeah, no, it's not. It's a full race start. So we thought it was a bit unfortunate. So I think it's best we restart the lobby because we're only into lap 1. It's fair enough. Get everyone back in. Not right, Primus?
Yeah, because we lost the man with the cash. He couldn't get back in time, as Bottas said. So it was a real shame. Also, it allows Marco to get into the car that he's meant to be reserving for. Oh, God.
All night long, buddy. All night long.
Although John Digweed and everyone else have to go onto the tyre that they... that's the little problem with a restart. Because obviously on the restart, it's open game with tyres. But to be fair, you have to pick the tyre you did your lapping Q2 on.
Exactly.
If you don't pick the tyre that you set a lap on, that's a bit of a boo-boo. Yeah,
that's a serious boo-boo. That will be dealt with the stewards afterwards, if I'm doing correctly. Aside from that, usually Hush had to put in the chat saying Schumacher for the win from 10th to 1st. Can you see it happen, Primus?
We can, because Schumacher went on a charge through Belgium. I remember that. And also, it's not the first time a driver has made his way from the mid of the pack, from back mid, and won. And that's the man who commented himself, Unity Hush, 15th in Britain. He won the race.
Yeah. Fair play to Unity for doing that. Good job, man. Good job. Very much. Sure, Shane did it was it Shane did it in Singapore? I think Shane did it in Singapore. He didn't win the race, but he got third. He got a podium. He started
Shane was near the
15,
back.
16, something like that. Like Singapore is hard to overtake, man. It's a city circuit. Like the next thing comes out in third. They're like, what? He said to us the right strategy. Oh, look, we're ready up. This is good stuff. That was a quick turnaround.
Oh, hopefully the man with the cash. Wait, can the
well
man with
done
the cash
to F2 guys.
Yeah, well done to the F2 guys. We got a nice restart, nice and quick, so we can still get this race underway.
Says Mark for the win. The magic man. Can he pull out the hat? Because if he does, that puts one over on Skunk. Skunk needs to win. Skunk needs to win realistically, doesn't he? The challenge for the championship.
He does. It actually, it's hard to say. If Marks wins and Skunk retires, because we're on round 17. There's 4 races to go after today.
Yes.
If Skunk retires and Mark wins, I think potentially we could be crowning our champion today.
Oh, really?
Maybe. It's hard to say because he's 50 points ahead at the moment, Magic Marks. He's got a quite good lead. If not today, maybe. If Skunk doesn't score any points and Mark wins, then Skunk will have to win to catch him. So this championship battle could go down to the bitter end. I think If
Abu Dhabi.
well, how's the constructors looking for Racing Point? Does it seem like is there any chance for anyone to catch them?
They're 104 points behind Renault.
Wait, Renault's ahead of them.
No. Sorry. Racing Point are 104 points ahead of Renault.
So, if Brundle and Stretch don't score any points today, at least I think we might be seeing the constructors being settled here and now today.
Yes.
So this is going to be an important race for Magic Marks and Shane. This is definitely going to be... Actually, here's a thing, Bodder, and I think the chat might agree. If Racing Point win the Constructors' Championship, I'd say we'd get both of them. Even if Shane or Marks don't get a podium, they would be the Constructors' Champions. So I think, would it be fair to invite them in, considering their team won the Constructors' Championship?
I got a feeling we'll be speaking to Mark either way, dude. He'll be on the podium either way. As for Shane, come from the back, every chance he's done it before, he can easily do it against again.
So it's in a very, very intense race because Marks needs to get more points to keep Skunk back. Skunk needs to finish and score points. He actually needs the win to stay in contention because the championship could be over soon, ladies and gentlemen. Marks could potentially be crowned the champion. Skunk could potentially be crowned champion. I'd say right now, it's a two-horse battle. At least for drivers. Teams, Renault really needs this.
I actually don't know maths-wise if they can win it tonight, but I wouldn't say it until Abu Dhabi, if you know what I mean. I'm not really a maths person, so I couldn't say to you, oh yeah, they've won it.
It's hard to say. Because you got to think about all the possibilities. It all depends on how much points they score. Well, let's see.
Very true. No man with the cash.
Yeah, 100. No man with the cash. No, no racing, Jason.
No.
I'd say if Renault don't score anything today, and Racing Point score some consecutive points, I do seriously think that it might come to a conclusion, at least constructors-wise today.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
That's if Renault can't do anything. If Renault can't score any points, Brundle, luckily, before the restart, Brundle did actually crash out. So, obviously, we had to do it because the formation lap was disabled. It has to be there as per the rules. A formation lap must be there. So, we had to do it. So it's almost like Brundle's been given, a second chance to try and score some points. If Brundle can try and at least get onto the podium, then it could help keep the constructors' battle going. But with how Shane Marks drives, I think it's really hard to see Renault get up there. No offense to the Renault drivers, but it's already nearly...
Stretch is another good driver. I think Stretch had a podium with us maybe a while ago, maybe it's the first half of the season. But yeah, you can't rule out Stretch. Stretch is another great driver. So is Brundle. These are all great drivers. They're all in F2 for a reason. They wouldn't be in our second division if it's not for a reason. But they are fantastic drivers. Any one of them can get up into the podium. Marana says,
can you just see for a moment?
Yes.
Bottom right-hand corner. Obviously, the cars are on the grid. Can you see some of them have got hydraulics?
I just like the thought of going like homey style, kind of keeping it real type of thing,
We're just seeing a little bit of dubstep or anything like that. Yeah. Benny's been working on the Red Bull. I can see it bouncing there.
Oh, it's bouncing. It's working hard. Look at our front suspension.
Right,
that's
so now we actually have it. Now that we actually have it, let's hand over to Bodder for his famous... Wait, what? Why is Hazard down there? Hazard was 8th. Schumacher was not meant to be in 9th. He was 10th. What's going on here?
That is very true. Checker.
Right, well, Botta has a little check at that. I'll just go over the formation app for today. So, starting in 15th place, at least provisionally for the moment, is Azza in the Red Bull. DRM Marco 14th, hello. Peppermeat 13th. After coming back, he missed the podcast as a fellow podcast member due to having laryngitis. So it's very good to see Peppermeat back into the racing seat. Shane in 12th, Mansell in 11th, Mr. T, he's in 10th in the Alfa Romeo. Schumacher, he is 9th. WR Stretch is in 8th. Paita 7th. Petronas 6th. Jake Moore 5th. Brundles 4th. Skunk Burner 3rd. Magic Mark 2nd. And John Digweed is on pole. We do apologise for this, ladies and gentlemen, because we don't normally get this little issue where we're setting the podium back up, because Azza qualified 8th. Even though he crashed out, Azza was still 8th. So it's a bit weird to see that he's been pushed down to the bottom of the grid. I think he might have been forgotten about for a moment. So Bodder's having a little chat with the lads to see what's going on. But until then, we are gearing up for take 2 of the Japanese Grand Prix. Yeah, and there is Bodder back. How's it looking there, bud? Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd say so. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it's a unanimous decision because it is deemed unfair. We don't normally do this, a second restart, but we are a fair league. Obviously, mistakes do happen, no one's perfect, but Azza qualified 8th. He does not deserve to start plumb last. So a restart will be warranted only for that reason, because Azza qualified 8th. He may have crashed, but he is 8th. We are not going to ruin his race for that. So as it stands, for the race start, I mean, there is 5 red lights and they're going to take off. It is not going to happen because we are not going to punish. Azza has done nothing wrong to end up at... Oh! It looks like the Renault have decided to hug each other at the beginning there.
No, it's unfortunate. Azza should not be starting at the back. Well, he's already left the session.
No.
Most guys didn't wait.
We are not
I'm actually
on
lead session as well. No, it's not right. The guy qualified higher up than that. It's not fair on him. It is completely not fair on him. So look, yes, it must have been a glitch or whatever. I don't know, but like the F2 guys, it'll only take a second to get back into the lobby because they're fairly quick. We'll keep the stream going. We'll wait quickly for our invite.
So we'll just, me and Bodder will continue to entertain you guys, considering you like hearing mine and Bodder's conversations. Obviously, it is a bit unfortunate what happened to Azza there, but luckily we are not ignoring it. We are going to be dealing with it immediately. So Azza will not be given the short end of the stick there. So if some people are sitting there going, oh, another restart, you can be angry at it if you like. We are only being fair to our drivers.
Yeah, fair is fair. Like, you don't want to start on the back.
I mean, if we continued, it would have been completely unfair on Azza because he's sitting there going, wait a minute, I'm 8th. What am I doing down here? Like, he'd done nothing to warrant that sort of move because he's not committed any... rule breaking, he's not caused any trouble, he's been very clean. So for him to be down there like that, won't sit right with me. But lads are just sorting that back out, so please feel free to continue to ask some questions. Actually, a good question for the viewers. Just give you a few minutes downtime while we wait for them to reset up the lobby. Let's see the viewers. What would you predict will happen today? Not just as the top 3, but do you think Racing Point could potentially take away the championship today? At least constructors. Drivers is still open. Right. I've ran out of drink, Bodder. I know
Oh,
you've got
Jesus.
another can of that Polish beer,
I have one more
but
left. I have one more left. Okay, I'm halfway through my second can.
I ran out of mine. I'll have to go buy some more tomorrow. Luckily, actually, here's what I like about my new job, because I started my new one last week. I get Saturday, Sunday, and Monday off. I've got a 3-day weekend and I work full time. So it's really good. I do 10 hours a day in my new job and I get quite a lot of downtime in the weekends. A lot of people would normally be excited, like when you get to Friday, that Friday feeling when you're just like, oh yeah, the weekend's coming up, I can go out with the lads, or go have a meal with my family, or just have a nice night in. I never got that luxury. I always worked weekends. Friday was not a happy day for me back then. It is now. And I always get to look forward to my weekends. And here's actually the best part. I'd always used to work Sundays and I'd be knackered and I'd come on. I'd still enjoy the streams, but I'd also be kind of tired. So it's nice to sort of come back into the stream. Now, obviously, you don't work Sundays anymore. Thank God. And it's just, you're up nice and fresh. I don't have to worry about working on Monday mornings, which I'm happy with that. I hate working Mondays. The start of a new week, I'd prefer to be off on it. Although I still have to get up early tomorrow to be a taxi for my sister. Yay! Bodder's just quickly having a little bit more beer and just quickly sorting out a little bit of work going on. So if Bodder's a little bit quiet, everyone, he is just quickly checking things out, because do remember, he may be our favourite commentator, but he is also a committee member, so he has to make sure everything is all completely copacetic. Everything's all running very finely. It's not just Bodder who's in the committee; it's other people. Hello. Sorry about that. I dropped my controller.
Hello. Jesus.
I had a little bit left in the can. I was like, oh yeah, I can have a little bit of that while I just quickly finish my sentence, and then just. I was like, batteries fell out, cord came out of the controller, back fell off. I'm like, yeah, really. Actually, this is good as well, because I know obviously we're doing this because of Azza, but if the man with the cash is still about, he can still get in. He has rarely anyone gets like a third chance or a second chance. No, yeah, a third chance, sorry, to try and get in. But luckily, the man with the cash has that ability to today. This is not a normal situation, lads. We've still got 26 viewers, so we've it keeps fluctuating every now and then, but there's still a good amount of viewers we had before. So it's good to see you guys are still sticking around. We thank you very much for your patience. These things do happen. Just please bear with us, and the race will be restarting momentarily.
Ooh, Verstappen says, a bit of a random question, but anyone who has a Trustmaster TMX Pro wheel, do you know how to fix the plastic buttons on the wheel? What do you mean by fixing the plastic buttons? As in, have they come off or just not working, or are they a bit sticky?
That's a good question.
And if they are sticky, I don't want to know how they got sticky.
We don't want. Here's one thing that makes me go, ugh, is people that don't respect the controllers or wheels, not like damaging them, just like when people eat and don't wash their hands, and then they touch
My
their
wheel
controllers.
keeps sticking as they don't function properly. I know, but it's very sad.
There we go. Got an invite from Jake. I have got a message from Brundle, but is it okay to read out?
You can if you want.
Brundle is, he's just making sure we're okay, because as you know, it's not just a bit of an annoyance for the drivers and the viewers when a restart does happen. Sometimes it's been rare that it's ever happened, but sometimes even the commentators can get a little bit like, another restart. But to be honest, it doesn't bother me. I've got all the time in the world.
I've never actually seen a double restart.
No, this is a first
Never.
in the history books. This is the first in the RSF1 history books. So this is a first of many. Well, not first of many, but the first time ever this has happened. Because I think real F1 have had a couple of restarts once before. Have they?
I'm pretty sure they have. It's just like, you have one restart. It's like, okay, cool enough. And then, obviously there was a mistake somewhere or someone clicked the wrong thing or something like that. And you're like, okay, we got to restart again. It's like, oh, God. It's like, in NASCAR, you just kind of roll them up and they do a roll and restart all over again. But in F1, no, we have to restart the lobby, get everyone back going again. Oh, God.
But luckily, our drivers and you, the viewers, because we still have got a good lot of viewers, have been very, very patient with us. So again, thank you very much for your patience. The race will begin momentarily, and I think, I'm hoping this is the last time we have to make a restart, because I don't think we want to go for a triple.
No. And this, to be honest, might be something that might be discussed in the weekly committee meetings as well, I would reckon.
Indeed. Because...
So again, guys, just let you know, we're so serious about the league. We've 143 pages of already agendas, meetings, all that kind of put together. But I've already discussed that. But yeah, we're serious about this.
Definitely. Actually, we got 15 drivers. There was 16. Can we get a 17th? Can we get the man with the cash in? I don't know if he's still about.
If he is, great. If not, sorry, dude.
Well, luckily,
I don't see him there, no.
Everything's all getting set up nicely. The lads are just resetting up the grid, because the custom grid, obviously...
Oh my gosh! I just spotted DRM Marco has an Irish flag next to his
does?
name. Hello, fellow Irishman. Yes, Marco. I won't be saying polo anymore. Nah, screw that. I'll be saying polo every time. Don't worry. Primus, anytime you say Marco, it's going to be followed by a polo.
God. Oh, this is like the...
You love me, Primus. You love me. I know you love me.
Yeah, I do. Just, it's a part of friendship, ladies and gentlemen. You always have your moments where you sort of like, you have your little jokes, you have your serious moments. Me and Bodder, we haven't had any bad moments. We've had a really, really good, strong, working...
Here we go!
Hey, here we go. No racing Jason, so sadly, he will not be racing tonight. But hopefully, we should see no nasty surprises for the start. Because when I saw a Red Bull in the back, I was like, who's that at the back? Jake wasn't down there. And then it's like, as soon as I saw a bouncing Red Bull, I was having a laugh. I was like, and as soon as it was seconds away from starting, it clicked. I was like, wait, Red Bull going to Q3, didn't they?
Junior's actually putting a valid point there, saying thanks for the patience. Oh, yeah, no, I echo that statement as well. Thanks everyone. 26 viewers currently. Thanks everyone for holding on. It's unusual we get a second restart. I don't think it's ever actually happened in any league race I've been involved in. It might have happened in other ones, but it hasn't happened in any I've been involved in.
Luckily,
but still, it has been done for fairness.
It's been sorted. Also, it wouldn't be the drivers that would have been angry if we ignored what happened to Azza. Maybe some of the viewers would have seen that and go, hang on, wait a minute, what are you doing to him? We don't want to annoy anyone.
No. At the end of the day, if you're that driver that qualified, say, 8th, 9th, whatever, as they qualified, and next thing you're starting at the back of the grid, what's the point? You've gone through qualifying just to start at the back of the grid. It's unfair to him. So I personally felt that was unfair on him. And look, it only took 3 minutes for us to get the lobby restarted. It's only an extra 3 minutes on guys' lives. It's okay. Relax. We're fine. It's only an extra few minutes.
There we go. So we are just resetting up. 29 viewers. Everyone's all coming back. So for the people that are just returning, we have just managed to successfully restart the race a second time. First was because the formation app wasn't there, and second because we have a little bit of an incident with forming the grid. And luckily, all the people are in their appropriate starting spots in the grid.
Look at those hydraulic suspensions. They're back, Primus. They're back. Look at
It's
that
like
alpha going up and down.
They're all nodding and like listening to our conversations. They're just like, yeah. I can see that. I can see that Toro Rosso doing that, and the Racing Point.
Yes. Oh, as is actually put in the chat saying appreciate all of it. Well, as it to be fair, dude, if you qualify 8th or 9th, you should be starting 8th or 9th, not starting 15th. So that's my standpoint on that.
Agreed.
Primus, I don't know what yours, but
oh no,
yeah,
I definitely agree. If you qualify somewhere, the only time when you get knocked down is when you've been awarded a grid penalty, and we can't do anything about grid penalties if they're awarded during a qualifying session. But if you've gone all the way down there and you've not received any form of grid penalty whatsoever, that's going to bring up some like red flags in my head.
AMS Easton that says go Mr. T. Oh, if it's a Bitsy fan right here, Easton. Alien Motorsport, Easton.
It's definitely going to be interesting. We've got many people supporting different people. We've got a few Brundle supporters. We've got some Schumacher supporters, Skunks, and Mr. T. So,
wait now, Junior, I'll tell you. Junior was asking, what beer do I have? I've got to find the oh, here it is. It is a Perlenbacher. Haifa Vest. Mr. Tor can translate that for you at a later date. It is nice. Let me just say that.
You sound like you already had a couple too many, mate. There you go, Schumacher's.
I just had 1.5.
It's just like
yeah, that's it. Perner and Lecca Becker. Yeah, that's it, Junior. That's it, exactly.
There we go. So now we can finally hand over to Bodder for the third time's the charm.
Wait. Let me go off the floor first, lads, will you? But Jesus. I'm kidding. I'm not actually on the floor.
There we are. Third time's the charm. So here we are onto the
One
formation
light.
lap.
There we go. DRM Marco. Apparently he's Irish. I actually wouldn't mind chatting to him at some stage to see actually is he Irish and whereabouts in Ireland he is from. DRM Marco. Photo. He's starting last. He's starting 15th in the Honda powered Toro Rosso. Another Irishman. Peppermeat in the British car, McLaren. Powered by Renault. Look at it. I love his helmet. The Irish colours on the helmet looks absolutely fantastic. So it does on that McLaren. Look, Peppermeat in 14th. He'll be looking to move forward. Go on, Peppermeat. 13th. Racing Point. Shane. RSF1 Shane started late. Joined in. Unfortunately, didn't have a chance to compete in qualifying. Oh, we have a spin already. Wasn't a Haas going around? Anyway, go back to Shane real quick. Oh my God, Schumacher. RSF1 Shane starting late. He's a fast driver. We know he can make up positions. He did the same thing in Singapore. He went from nearly like second last on the grid to podium. Can he do it again this weekend? Watch out for Shane. He is definitely one to watch. Mansell, who we had in for a quick chat at the start of Q2, said that he was willing to support Skunk Burner, going for the championship, doing what he can, trying to get any bit of points he can. Great on Mansell, good attitude. Really enjoyed having him in for a quick chat. Tabitsi, Mr. T has fans in the audience. He has fans in AMS Easton. So Easton is watching on for Tabitsi in the Racing Point. See if Tabitsi can get a top 5, maybe a podium, maybe a win. Wouldn't that be fantastic? From F4 to F2 to win. All right, moving on to our top 10. RSF1 Schumacher, previously driver formerly known as DP Roberts. How about that? See, got that in there as well. Schumacher in the Haas. Bit of a spin earlier on here in the formation lap, but he'll be okay. He'll bring it in. Another fast driver. Unfortunately, a bad Q3. Watch for him to move forward. 9th is WOR Stretch in the Renault. In 8th is Azza. Another very fast driver, one to watch. Pieter in 7th looked very good in Q1. Not so much maybe in Q3, but look, there's a race to go yet. Patron sitting on 6th. Guy under the radar. No one really has heard much from this guy. But yet, in the race, has pulled off some great points. 5th, Jake Moore, a guy who is, hear that? knocked at the door. Literally knocked at the door. That guy is just a bit of luck and a few points away from getting on the podium. Fourth, RSF1 Brundle. Third, Skunk Burner, who is chasing his friend Magic Mark, who is actually in the lead of the championship at the minute. And in first place on pole, like his first pole as well as season. Well done, John Digweed.
And that couldn't have finished at a perfect time. Well done to Bodder. But here we go, everyone. Finally, 5 red lights and the start of round 17 for F2, and it's lights out and away we go, and John Digweed gets a really good run off the start, and Magic Marks is right on the left of him. It's 3 wide going into turn 1. Magic Marks, he takes the lead of the German Grand Prix, but John Digweed is hanging around the outside in the Mercedes, and they're still side by side. John's doing his best to try and compete and catch back up to the racing point, but then Marks just stays up in front. Very clean start. Brundle, he's in 3rd place. Jake Moore, he is knocking on the action. It's Skunk Burner! Skunk Burner's gone down with Azza!
Skunk's off!
This is bad! This could be bad! If Skunk Burner
really
doesn't get any points, this could seriously affect his ability to win the championship.
Skunk has no damage. The good news for Skunk, he has no damage, and he's on the mediums.
Oh, that is the worst thing to happen to Skunk Burner. But luckily, as you say, no damage. Oh, Azza's... Even though Azza's got the benefit of the restart, it didn't help for the start of the race. You know, anything can happen. Right now, we're not looking at another restart, so the race will continue. And going off the beginning, Magic Marks is in the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix. John Digweed is in 2nd place. Brundle is 3rd. Jake Moore 4th. Patronus 5th. Schumacher 6th. Stretch 7th. Mansell, Mr. T, Peppermeat, Marco Polo, Shane, Pie Eater, Skunk Burner, and Azza.
It's great to see as well. Magic Mark's getting out in front of John Digweed, but John Digweed's kind of just sitting in behind Magic Mark. He's not letting him get away just yet. It's unfortunate though. My heart goes out to Skunk Burner. Don't want that, especially in lap 1. But now, if you ever want to put a fire under someone, Jake Moore is ready.
I think he might have sustained damage.
Yeah, the front right end plate is missing on his Red Bull. So that's the 2 Red Bulls for damage.
Unlucky.
That's unfortunate.
Schumacher's made up 5 positions just in the first lap, so Schumacher has really benefited from this.
Yeah, Schumacher is looking feisty, so he is.
We've got a little bit of a
as
bug
well,
on
like
the
he's such a
screen where the arrows are still on.
That's right, I fix this stuff usually after a lap, so I've had that as well. But Schumacher had such a poor qualifying Q3, sorry. But he's already up in 5th. He started like 10th, I think it was, because he's such a poor Q3. But he is hungry, driving aggressive as well. You like to see that from Schumacher. I personally think Schumacher drives better when he's that small bit of aggressiveness. You know, when he sees a target in front of him and he goes for it. You know, well, you're going to get a better result from Schumacher when you see him driving like that, looking good.
John Digweed is actually gaining.
Fourth as well.
Yeah, Patronus has done really good, but John Digweed, he's gaining on Magic Marks very, very, like, heavily.
130R.
Yeah,
he's in full overtake mode, he's going for it.
Full throttle, and John Digweed, he is thirsty to take that pole back. Magic Marks got him on the start. John's just like, oh, you know what, mate? You may have gotten me, but I don't like this. Mr. T's retired from the session. Mr. T's out.
Oh, big crash, 130R.
Oh, no, we've lost. Mansell as well. We'll go on board with Jake Moore so we can see if we can get a little bit of a view of that incident.
Patronus fastest lap. Go on, Patronus. Let's see if we can see here the 2 cars.
Oh my God, they're piled on each other. Literally, the Williams and the Alfa Romeo are basically hugging each other. They're just hiding in the corner.
They're hugging each other. Yeah, that's a very tight braking zone there. You really got to be on the outside to get in the cut into the chicane.
Brundle's gone down! Brundle's lost it! Brundle's 11th! This could be bad, but Stretch is... Oh, and Brundle's out of the left of session. But Stretch...
What?
Luckily, Stretch is in P5, so Stretch is still going to be able to try and bring some points home for Renault. Schumacher 4th, gaining on Patronus in 3rd. John Digweed is still all over the back of that racing point. So it is still up for grabs. And luckily, the board's actually fixed itself. You can actually see what battles are now potentially going on. Jake Moore has received a 3-second time penalty. Not very good. He was knocking at the door, and now he might as well just be in the shed. He's gonna go get the shovel. You know what?
Runs back in. Good stuff.
He's gonna dig out some ground. He's gonna try and do his best to try and recover after what has been a bit of a bumpy start. Because Mr. T looked very good. Mansell, we only just spoke to him a little while ago. If you want to watch that in the previous part of the qualifying, Mansell said he was feeling good for Japan. It's his favourite track, and unfortunately today, Mansell just not going to be able to get it done. So unlucky to Mansell and Mr. T. I wonder what happened.
And Mansell as well. I reckon, if you're too wide going into that chicane, yes, you can go too wide in the entry, but when it comes to actual corner itself, it's very, very tight. It's hard to make room. But look, they crashed even before the corner, so it could have been maybe on the exit of 130R. One guy just managed to clip another guy, and next thing 2 cars spin around. To be honest, now that I think back on it, that's probably what happened. I say it was on the exit of 130R, but look, that's the job for our stewards. We have the race to come to on.
So, just to say, Paita managed to fight in the first sector with DRM Marco. A side-by-side battle, but it looks like Marco has received a 3-second time penalty, and Brundle, by the way, he gets back in, receives a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pits. John Digweed has received a 3-second time penalty while trying to chop down the time between him and the Magic Man. Meanwhile, Petronas is still keeping a gap between him and Schumacher. Schumacher is slowly but surely gaining.
Yeah, Brundle is nearly the same race as what's happening to him last week in Russia. I think he got caught up in a bit of accident as well.
Oh,
back on the
Scott Bernard got Shane on 130R.
That would have been amazing to watch.
Nice move there from Skunk. Skunk's actually, thanks to... it's unfortunate because of some of the incidents, but it's allowing Skunk to try and claw his way back up the pecking order. He's just managed to fight with the racing point of Shane, his real rivals for today. Shane needs to score some serious points, and Mark needs to win to potentially win the Constructors' Championship for Racing Point in the first ever season of RSF1. But what we need here to keep the battle going in the Constructors is stretch. Brundle is still... to bring back some points, but he has got already a penalty and a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pits. Oh, we got a yellow flag.
I'm looking to see what it is. No one's off track as far as I can see. Everyone's on track. We're good. We're green flag. Green flag back in here.
Oh, that's a relief. There we go. So we'll stay on board with Skunk Burner because he's now about to challenge DRM Marco for 8th place.
Oh.
Meanwhile, Jake Moore is 10.8 seconds. He's actually gaining on Shane. So Jake is actually working to recover after a bit of a bumpy start. So best of luck to Jake Moore in the Red Bull. Hopefully he'll be able to bring his way and score some good points for the Red Bull team. Here we go, onto the straight.
On the inside.
Skunk is down the left-hand side of the Toro Rosso, of Marco. And here we go into 130R. That's a double. That's a double. Skunk gets past someone on 130R.
Yeah, that's obviously the spot to do it here in Japan in Suzuka. Do it at 130R. Everyone wants to be Alonso for the night.
There you go, Skunk Burner. He's now got Paita in his crosshairs. Meanwhile, John Digweed is still within 0.6 of a second behind the Magic Man. He's maintaining it.
Fair juice to John Digweed. Yeah, he's holding on there to Magic Mark. He's not exactly letting the Magic Man go away with it, is he? He's still holding in there within the second, which is good to see from John Digweed. That's fantastic job from John Digweed. Good stuff.
Definitely. Skunk is still pushing. He's Alton Mansell, obviously, he's out of the session. He can no longer continue. So Mansell has left the session. So unlucky to X around Mansell. It's unfortunate, lad, but we will see you next week in Mexico, and hopefully we will be under better circumstances.
Underlay.
There we go. So on we go. Lap 6 out of 27. Same amount of laps actually as Russia here in Monza. Not Monza. There. Suzuka.
Suzuka.
Look
at Marco. Marco's up 6 positions already.
Yeah, Marco's
I know he's already at the back. But yeah, same as Schumacher. Schumacher's also up 6. Pepperme is up 8 positions. Starting near to the back as well. That's fantastic job.
John's starting to fall a little bit back now behind the Magic Man, so it looks like because of Skunk Burner's unfortunate collision in the opening lap, it has allowed Magic Marks to get a little bit more breathing room. Yellow flag in the first sector.
Oh, that's Brundle off again.
Oh no!
No damage, but he is off, and that was just after the S's, the left-hander after the S's. He's going to dirt all over those hards as well. That Renault is going to be incredibly hard to drive, so it is.
Just gone from bad to worse there for Brundle. It's just the worst situation. But here's a little bit of a thing to keep an eye on. Petronas' tyres are now starting to wear a little bit. Schumacher is actually starting to gain on the McLaren, so we will see a battle between Schumacher and Petronas in maybe a lap or two, depending on if Schumacher can get close enough. You know, we don't have the like the overlays like you get in real F1 where, you know, you've got the striking distance where it could potentially happen, or overcuts and undercuts. So we will just have to play it by ear. But Schumacher, he is looking like he is on the charge. We'll quickly come back to Skunk Burner. He's actually challenging Pie-Eater after the hairpin. So here we go into the sausage club, and look at that, Pie-Eater is defending. He's keeping Skunk back. He's like, I don't care if it's the second in the championship. I'm fighting for a race here. If you want to fight me, you're going to have to catch me on the straight. So it looks like Pie-Eater is defending really well, but here we go onto the straight. Skunk Burner should have DRS. He doesn't. He doesn't have DRS, so he has to play it by slipstream and ERS. And there's another one! Skunk Burner's done it again! But they're still side by side, going into the chicane. Pie-Eater, he sticks his elbows out. He manages to hold on to the position. It tells Skunk, you know what? You got to get back there, mate. You got to keep waiting for a little bit longer. This is going to make very, very horrible work for Skunk Burner, because he has to get back up there to keep this championship battle going. Here we are into turn one, and Skunk gets 7th place. And there's a Winston! Marco hit the back of Pie-Eater. I noticed there, Marco broke way too late going into turn one, and the back end of the car kicked off.
Oh, the Honda's off. Who was that?
It's horrible there for Marco, but that's allowed Pie-Eater to get a little bit more ahead, and Skunk Burner takes 7th place, and he is now immediately, look at that, he's all over Peppermeat. He's only just taken Pie-Eater, and he's looking at the back of Peppermeat. He's like, right, you're next.
That's how it's going.
I would say let's go to Schumacher, but look at that. I mean, one moment. Oh, Shane's out! Shane's out!
Let's have a look here. I'm looking at the board, but as I see where Shane has lost it. Oh, I see it's a start of the S's by the looks of it. Looks to be sector 1.
I think that might have harmed Racing Point's ability to maybe seal the deal with the constructors today. It all depends on how WR Stretch and Brundle can score some points. Now that they've lost one of the Racing Points in the races, it has opened up a possibility for the Renault to try and cast a safety net to bring them back up into some point-scoring positions.
Yeah.
Oh, and Skunk! He makes a move on the chicane where Prost and Senna had their incident back in the day when they were both racing for McLaren. Skunk moves up to 6th place. This is intense battles. Straight
and
away.
Charismic has joined us. Charismic is now on the Twitch, on the
Hey,
chat.
the Kebab Man.
Hello.
Kebab
Hello to
Mix.
Australia.
There we go. Skunk Burner, he is now chopping down the time between him and WOR Stretch. So we'll come back to Skunk Burner because the gap between him and Stretch is a little bit of a big one. So we'll let him get on with it. Although Schumacher, he's been doing very well. He's staying behind Petronas. Actually, someone who's actually cut down a bit of time between him and another driver is John Digweed. John's actually cut down time between him and the Magic Man.
Yeah, that's great to see as well. John Digby taken to our championship leader. Great to see.
I have to say though, very, very good racing from Peppermeat and Skunk. Bad luck for Shane as well, because Shane was doing really well. But Peppermeat and Peppermeat obviously started in the back. He didn't get to qualify, and Skunk actually went down to the bottom of the grid after another. Oh, and John!
Oh, John Digby
break!
Oh, he cuts the corner as well.
And look at that, he's got no grip. He's struggling for grip because obviously he went off and broke way too late. That's going to cost him dearly.
Yeah, you know, it's a not terrible, not great situation for John Digweed. Charismic. How are you getting on?
Oh, Schumacher's gaining on
Schumacher,
Peppermeat.
right on
No, sorry, Paita's gaining on Peppermeat, and Schumacher on Petronas. Can we see Paita maybe try and make a move on Peppermeat into turn 1? No, he can't. But there is still an opportunity in the S's if they can cleanly get the battle going. But that's if Paita can get close to Peppermeat. Peppermeat went a little bit wide, so it's looking like it's possible.
Yeah, Pyre's charging the battery. He's just sitting right behind Peppermeat. I see what he's doing. He's waiting for 130R. Because I've seen that's where most of the overtaking is currently happening.
And it looks like Paita is also stockpiling on energy as well. So it's very, very interesting to see what both the Merc and the McLaren are planning. So John Digweed, he had that instant. He's already back up to... Oh, and he's got another 3-second time penalty. I was about to say, he's already getting close to magic marks.
He is getting very close. Winning the second now, so he's winning a DRS zone of the Magic Man. Wouldn't be such a cool thing to say that like you're able to keep up the magic mark. Such a fast driver that he is. How cool would that be to say? Yeah, I kept up the magic mark. I was able to stay in the gearbox.
Yeah, it's very hard to keep up with the fast drivers. And if you are able to sit there and go toe-to-toe with them, that's a real feat. Oh, I had to cut him for a minute. We're going into the chicane just before the start. And looks like Paita has made a little contact with the back of the McLaren. No damage done. So they're going to keep racing onto last curve, onto the straight. Can Paita get past Peppermeat? Peppermeat is trying to break the slipstream, but he cannot make too many manoeuvres, so he's going to have to let
full overtake mode for Paita. He goes outside.
Chuck around the outside into turn 1.
Throw it in.
Peppermeat, he defends.
Come back there.
But Paita's got a bit of a line. No, Peppermeat defends. So very good driving there from Peppermeat. But Paita is all over the gearbox of that McLaren. Oh,
yeah, no, he definitely is. Ooh, yellow flag as well. Let's have a quick look here. What's going on? No tracks, no cars are off track, which is good. Green flag back in the air. I can see that. Yeah, someone just slipped on the grass.
Oh, and Paita, he went a little bit too wide going off the corner there, and he had to back off just a little bit to recover. Because if you keep pushing after you make a little mistake, that can end a race. Schumacher, it looks like he's going for another run on Petronas. For the whole entire time, Petronas has been defending quite nicely on the soft compound tyre.
Yeah.
10 laps
he's holding
against the medium runner. Here we go. Schumacher, he's going to try and make the move on Petronas. No, he backs off.
Very smart, very smart. I wouldn't have made that move there either. Magic Mark, sitting another fastest lap. Yellow flag. I think that's only a... Oh, we see the move there. Paita on Marco. Oh, side by side there.
Paita is trying to catch Peppermeat. Skullburner gets past Stretch. Oh, well, Stretch has gone in. Onto the straight. Can Paita get past Peppermeat? They're going side by side into turn 1. Paita around the outside on the McLaren. Can he make the move? Yes, he can. No, he can't. No, Peppermeat gets a little bit of the grass. He has to fall back a little bit. Paita takes 6th place of the Japanese Grand Prix. But Peppermeat, he is not going down without a fight. He is still in the back. Oh, behind the Mercedes, I can't talk now. And he is doing his best to try and catch him.
It's late.
We've had a couple of restarts. So right now, as it stands, Brundle is in 12th place, followed by Azza in 11th, Jake Moore 10th, Stretch 9th, Marco 8th, Peppermeat 7th, Paita 6th, Skullburner 5th. I gotta remember that. Schumacher 4th, Petronas 3rd, John Digweed 2nd, and the Magic Man in the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix as it stands. We're on lap 12 out of 27, and it's still up for grabs.
Meanwhile, here we're watching this race. Charismic is saying, right, enjoy the race, guys. I'm off at my jet ski. Lol, have fun. Okay, thanks, Charismic. Thanks for just saying that. You're going on jet ski.
Thanks for hurting our feelings. I'd like to go on a nice holiday and go jet skiing.
Yeah, and by the way, you owe me a kebab there, Charismic, as well, for saying that. Thanks very much. Thanks.
Oh, Schumacher! Schumacher's round the outside on Petronas going into turn 1. Schumacher moves up to 3rd place, and John Digweed is actually all over the back of Magic Marks, going through the S's of the first sector. Could he try and maybe make the move, going into the Dunlop curve? No, he can't, because he's a little bit too far back. But Schumacher makes the move. Petronas has now got to contend with Skunkburner in 5th.
John Digweed as well, he's charging his battery. I'm looking at board here with Magic Mark. He's down on 30% and he's not using it, but he's not saving it either. So he is somewhat using the battery, Magic Mark is. Meanwhile, John Digweed is just sticking to that gearbox at the racing point. Otherwise, Patronus and Schumacher looking good. That was feisty in turn 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, Schumacher's been nibbling at the back of that McLaren for pretty much the most of the race. After what has been a really, really good start from 10th to 3rd, and Schumacher is on those mediums. He's got clean air in front of him now between him and John Digweed, so he's going to try and close the gap. John is actually gaining on Magic Marks. I mean, we might see a move maybe made on the straight here.
Will Patronus come in this lap? Patronus allowed a 12 lap old softs. He's the only driver on the grid with softs left on. Oh, as Marco Polo gets it. Yeah, Patronus is in. Called it right.
Yeah, Patronus has pitted onto the next set tyres. Has he gone onto the mediums or the hard? We will find out momentarily. I think it'll probably be mediums. So Skunk Burner up into 4th place.
Mediums.
Oh, Brundle's out of the Japanese Grand Prix. So right now, Renault's chances of keeping the Constructors' battle going at this current moment is WR stretch.
Mr. Retired in the base. I say just it's a race to forget for Brundle. Brundle was actually chatting to me earlier on, and he was just like, it's a track that does not agree with him. He said to me that his best position was 6th, and he's never gotten better than 6th. And I said to him, come on man, you gotta think better than that. You're a fast driver, you can do better. But no, tonight just wasn't his night for Brundle, unfortunately.
We all get those nights, and hopefully next time in Mexico we could maybe see maybe like a redemption. But for the moment, bad luck to Brundle, Shane, Mansell and Mr. T. But for the moment, we'll have to keep an eye on John Digweed. He's gaining on Magic Marks on 130R. Is he going to make the move, or is he going to hold back for just a moment? Because Marks hugs the left-hand side, and John's like, you know what, if I go on that as well, I'll probably be able to get a good run going down onto the straight. Oh, the back end on that Mercedes is kicking out a little bit. These tyres are a little bit worn.
Yeah, there's one thing I noticed about John Digweed in the Merc. He's not affected by dirty air, or it seems like maybe his car is set up in a way that he's not affected by dirty air. If you watch him following the back of Magic Mark takes his line. John Digweed takes the exact line with him. There's no change. There's no alternative line. Great work by John Digweed, not being affected by dirty air.
And also, if John can actually stay close to Magic Marks in the pits, obviously they still need to pit soon. If he can stay close to him, there is a slight chance that maybe John might be able to jump Marks in the pits. It has happened in the past.
Very possibly. Yeah, it has completely happened. Well, we've seen races won or lost in the pits, literally by a 10th of a second. You know, clean air is king. What would happen now if John Digweed gets out in front of Magic Mark and has clean air? Potentially could start pulling away from Magic Mark.
Marks is struggling, and I've never seen Marks struggle this much against, well, obviously, unless it's against Schumacher or Skunk Burner. But John Digweed, obviously, it's not usual for Marks to see John fighting him like this. But Marks just is trying his best to stay ahead, but John's just like, hey, I'm still here, mate.
Jake Moore's just pitted as well. Jake Moore's got a new set of softs.
He's going to maybe try and go for fastest
lap. Out. Potentially. There's only 11 racers left, so...
I don't know if that was intentional, but John's in. Oh, and luckily he doesn't speed in the pits. That was a good save by the Mercedes.
And he's undercutting the Magic Man at the same time as we lit a flag. Oh, it's a Red Bull is off! Azza is off in the hards.
Oh no, is he on any damage?
No, it looks like the back of the car. No, all good.
Oh yeah, he's got damage.
The car is good. No damage.
Oh no, he hasn't.
No damage.
No, he hasn't. Oh, okay.
No, he's all good.
It's just the camera angle. I thought there was no end plate.
No, it's fine. Just after the S's, he went off the back end. Must have came around on him. Unfortunately, the hards must have no grip around here, because we've seen that happen with Brundle as well. Brundle went off on the hards.
Well, John Digweed's actually on the charge now. He's got fresh, soft compound tyres on. Meanwhile, Marks, Skunk and Schumacher have worn mediums. This could be John's chance to push and maybe try and take the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix. He has got more grip than
I was
them.
just going to say that to you, Primus. I was just going to say it to you. If you watch Magic Mark, he has to pit now because he has to respond to John Digweed's pit for the undercut. Like, this could literally be the win or loss of the race now. Can Magic Mark get in and out of the pits on time correctly, or will John Digweed overtake him on the pits?
It all lies within Magic Marks' decision here and now. Going into the chicane in the last couple of corners. Will Marks pit? He's hugging the right line. Yep, he has pitted.
He's going in.
How about Schumacher? You've got Schumacher and
Now let's see
Skunkburner.
what John Digweed. I'm just going to ride on
He's
board
on
with John
the
Digweed
way
to see where... Schumacher's in as well. Schumacher's in.
All right, Marks is just gone into
Skunk's
the
in as well.
box.
Skunk's in as well.
Marks just put on his soft compound tyres. Where's John?
Excuse me. John Digweed's coming around the last corner. He's on the start straight now. He's in full overtake mode. He knows the situation. He knows he needs to get out in front of the Magic Man. Can he do it?
He's done it! John Digweed takes the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix.
The undercut does it. It's 2 seconds. Look at the gap. Look at the gap.
That
2.2
could be
seconds.
crucial. He's got clean air ahead of him now. Magic Marks is now in second place. He's got 1 lap fresher tyres. Then John Digweed, Pyatt is in third place on the medium compound tyres. Schumacher fourth. Skunk's actually behind Petronas. And Petronas is actually on the medium tyres to the end. And he's ahead of Skunkburner.
This is an incredible turn of events here, Primus. With 10 laps to go in the Japanese Grand Prix here at Suzuka. He's pulling away. If you look at the times, it came out with like 2.2, and now
John
it's like
could
2.8,
win.
2.9.
He's got
John
6
is pulling
seconds worth
away
of
from the
penalties.
Magic Man.
But John could win. Jake
gets
Moore,
fastest
fastest lap of
Good
the
job,
race.
Jake Moore. Yeah.
Can you
Wow.
just confirm
I
that?
did say earlier on that, like, yeah, I did say it. Sorry, the race at clean air is king. Now that John Digweed has not much clean air in front of him, I know he's 1 lap older tyres than the Magic Man. But heck, he could actually win this. He could win here.
It is a possibility. He could win this. John Digweed is actually keeping the gap between 3 seconds between him and the Magic Man. That was a very good call there. I mean, it almost looked like he almost made a mistake going in. You know, Ken kicked out and the car was like into the pits. But he made a stick. Fastest lap of the race to John Digweed, the race leader.
I'm just catching up here with the chat. Junior says, Bottas sounds like he's got 6 beers. Ha ha ha. No, Junior, I've only had like 2. Okay, thanks very much. It's not as if I'm Irish or anything. Like, oh my god. Who says, okay, Gary says John should get it. Mount the Cash undercut is huge. Gary says, yep. And Junior says the mad undercut. We've seen that as well. 2 seconds of an undercut. That is absolutely crazy.
It was close. It was very, very close. I mean, the Magic Man is actually cutting down a tiny bit of time between him and John Digweed. But the thing is it enough? Because catching him is one thing, getting past him is another.
Exactly. I think Murray Walker said the same thing.
Skunkburner, he's in 5th place after what has been a really good recovery drive. He's got 10 laps to go. I mean, if you're including the final lap, 10 laps to go to try and see if he can fight his way back up onto the podium. I mean, 4th place currently is held by Petronas, but Skunk is closing down that door.
No, the cash is John has it 6 seconds worth of pens, so Mark will win. Okay, fair enough. RSF1 Junior is doing some maths here, which he knows maths obviously isn't my favourite. It goes 9.2% by 2 equals 18.4. Okay, so basically Junior's saying I've had just over 4 beers.
Oh, here we go. Skunkburner, he's going past Petronas on the main straight. The Skunkburner moves to 4th place. Petronas 5th. So that means Skunkburner is now charging to try and catch Schumacher.
Yeah, Skunk as well. Had a spin and a bit of an accident on lap 1. So obviously went off the track, had to come back on the track and get back going again. And he's already up in the 4th place. Just shows you how fast of a driver Skunkburner is.
Skunk has done really, really well after being set back in the opening lap on the hard compound tyres and just falling back down. It's good to see that Skunk's actually managed. No, it wasn't so hard, it was his mediums. It was good to see that Skunk is managing to climb his way back up. He's actually closing down the gap between him and Schumacher. the Magic Man is struggling to get out that 2.8 second mark between him and John Digweed. So by the looks of it, as it stands, right now John is definitely secured second place, even with the penalties, but he just needs to open up the gap between him and Marks.
Yeah, just looking at the panel situation here real quick. Yep, Junior is right. No, sorry, Man with the Cash is right. John Digweed does have 6 seconds worth of time penalties. Skunk penalties. Skunk has 1 warning. Believe it or not.
Azza
Just
has
one
retired
warning
from the
for
session.
Skunk Burner.
Is that a crash or is that
Azza.
pit retirement? Because it is in the third sector.
Let's have a look. Azza. That must be retired in the pits, I believe. Azza. Which means we have 10 drivers, which means everyone goes home with a point.
No one goes away empty-handed in the remaining top 10. I mean, sadly for Azza, Brundle, Shane, Mansell and Mr. T, they unfortunately will be going away empty-handed for tonight. So that means all the 10 drivers left in the session are taking something home for their teams. Marks is actually starting to lose a little bit of time between him and John. 3.2 seconds.
He definitely is. I just have noticed as well, there's only 2 drivers on the medium compounds. That is Patronus and Stretch. They're sitting currently in 5th and 6th. How will they fare towards the end of the race? Will the softs start to give up, start to degrade a bit sooner, and then the mediums will start to take control, take charge? We could see Patronus maybe moving forward a small bit. Who knows?
Pie Eater is actually starting to gain on Peppermeat. So a battle that happened not too long ago, earlier in the race, is actually looking to bring itself back up to give you all a good show, because Peppermeat is on 3-lap old soft, but Pie Eater is on 2-lap old soft. So only really 1 lap of grip benefits Pie Eater at the moment. He's still trying to catch up. Magic Marks is actually fallen down to the 3.8 area. This is crucial. If John Digweed can open up 2 more seconds, John could win the Japanese Grand Prix.
See, the thing is now, is John Digweed legitimately pulling away, or is the Magic Man kind of like going, yeah, this is cool, I just have to stay within 6 seconds of him? Like, is someone engineering for the Magic Man? Does he know the situation? Or is he actually genuinely pushing, and he's just, maybe Suzuka doesn't work for him? 4 seconds, there you are, there's a gap of 4 seconds at the minute.
Stretch also,
just like you said,
picked himself up a 5-second time penalty, sorry to buy him.
Oh, Stretch. I hope he's not stretched himself too thin.
Hey. There's the puns. Anyways, as you were saying,
sorry,
what about John Digweed and Magic Marks?
Yeah, no, all I was saying, basically reiterating what you were saying, 3.94 seconds there, and you have a gap already. Is a Magic Mark, holding back a small bit, or is he actually pushing as hard as he can? Like, if you look at John Digweed, I'm writing border with John Digweed now. He's in full overtake mode. He is going down 130R flat out, while Magic Mark's going down.
My sound's gone.
Load. Oh no!
Sound that you just shut off as I was with Marks. We're not even getting.
That's all right. Do you want to quit out and join back in?
Yeah, we can try that. You have to give me a moment, guys. Bodder's going to keep on giving us the blow by blow.
I'll give you the live audio. How about that? Live audio. By the way, guys, John Digweed still in the lead. Although yet to be decided, because John Digweed does have 6 seconds worth of penalties. Magic Mark has it down to 3.7 at the minute. No major battles up and coming, although Pieter is on the back of Peppermeat. Can Pieter get past Peppermeat? Only 2 drivers currently sitting on the grid with mediums. Everyone else is on softs, with Stretch on the oldest set of mediums at the minute. Can Pieter get past Peppermeat? With 3 or 4 tenths in it at the minute. He's been staring at the back of that McLaren for at least the last 4 or 5 laps, if even. Dirty air seems to be affecting Pieter. John Digweed in another McLaren, not another Mercedes, not suffering the same issue. Magic Man. Wow. So John Digweed and Magic Man, there's now a 3-second gap between them. It was only 4 seconds. So obviously, Mark has obviously heard us, or he's listening to the stream. Hi, Mark, if you're listening. He is pulling down that gap now. 2.7. So either John has had a bit of an issue, charging his battery maybe, or Magic Man is ramping things up and is looking to close the gap. Instead of 4 seconds, we're down to nearly 2.5 seconds at the minute. So that's left things to play for the Magic Man.
There we go. Sound's back. I am back in my...
Hey! That's good. That's good. You're back. I was just noticing real quick is the Magic Man, who was about 4 seconds behind John Digweed, is now about 2.5, 2.8 behind John Digweed. So he's caught a little bit up.
I think he's responded, as you said. He might be listening, or he's got someone in the party with him who's told him, bro, he's getting ahead of you. You need to get back up there.
Yeah. Just checking the chat here real quick. As I said, I was 30 seconds off Jake, so I wasn't going to get points. Someone else, this is a long race, still going. Yeah, we've had 2 restarts. Someone could have crashed. No, that pun. Maybe that could be my pun, I don't know. Camo says, yeah, there was 2 restarts. I know, but it's not 100% confirmed. We're doing another 10 laps. Yes, we're finishing this race one way or another. We are finishing this race. We have to have a winner.
John Digweed is still, unfortunately, they've got that bug thing. It will hopefully sort itself in another lap or so, where I can actually see the intervals between the Magic Man and Schumacher.
Oh yes. No, after a lap, we'll fix that.
There we go.
Me the whole time, dude.
3.6 seconds separate John and the Magic Man. Schumacher 5.4 seconds off of Marks.
Meanwhile, Pepperme's kind of got on the back of Stretch at the minute. Page was looking at the back of Pepperme, but not so much. Now it's more so Pepperme is looking at the back of Stretch.
Stretch has got definitely over 5 seconds worth of time penalties. I think he's got 8. Here we go. Pepperme on the straight. Pepperme is going to go down the inside into turn 1 on WR Stretch. Pepperme takes 6th place off the Japanese Grand Prix and is now sitting 6th place behind his teammate Petronas in 5th. Although Stretch is looking to try and retaliate, Pie-Eater, however, is seeing the battle going on and he has gained on Stretch.
Yeah, Pepperme actually has no penalties, I think. Stretch, as you said, 5-second penalty.
Skunk Burner, he's actually gaining on Schumacher. Only a few laps to go.
This will be a fantastic lap.
Pie-Eater received the 3-second time penalty. That's not good, that's not good.
No.
Here we go. Skunk Burner is gaining on Schumacher. Here is a really interesting battle because Skunk Burner has already scored some good points to stay alive in this championship battle, but he wants a little bit more. He doesn't want to go away empty-handed. He's like, you know what? I'm getting that podium if it's the last thing I do.
He wants the podium, doesn't he? You know well by Skunk the way he drives. He wants the glory. He wants to be known. At the end of the season, you don't want to know who second place is. You'll only remember first place, and Skunk wants to be known as the guy who's there, who won it all, you know?
Wants to be. And also Pie-Eater hits the back of Stretch. Stretch has gone off. Stretch is around. Pie-Eater broke way too late. He went right into the back of the Renault and then shot Stretch into a half spin across the track. Oh, that's not done him any good. And John gets another 3-second time penalty. That's 9 seconds. John has to try and get ahead of Magic Marks. He was 4.4. He was doing really, really well. He just needed a 1.7
And the worst thing is,
gap.
Pie-Eater is missing his left end plate.
That's bad for Pie-Eater. He has to pit again. I mean, he can stay out, but that's going to allow Stretch to maybe try and make a counteraction.
Skunk on the back of Schumacher, though. This is going to be the next battle we're looking. 2 laps left. That was a quick race, Primus, wasn't it?
It has been, yeah. Even with the restarts. WR Stretch, he gets back ahead of Pie-Eater after that little collision they both had.
Skunk only has 1 warning as well. That's a fantastic job from Skunk. Week in, week out, we're seeing such great driving from Skunk Burner.
Here we go. The battle for 3rd place is about to go down as we are going through the final chicane. And look at that, he's got a good amount of ERS, and he's got the DRS as well. Skunk Burner's going to try and make the move on Schumacher. Schumacher's done his best to try and keep third place, but it's not enough.
No,
Skunk Burner goes down the inside, takes third place. Skunk Burner moves to third
the
place.
cutback for Schumacher. Not there. It's not there.
Skunk Burner has instantly put himself back, and look at that. I bet Marks is sitting there going, wait, how the hell did you get here? Because now suddenly in the third place bracket, in the top left-hand corner of his screen, Skunk's now sitting underneath him. After what almost felt like Marks could probably opened up a bit of a gap, Skunk's allowed himself to get back up, but now Skunk has to put in the work. Currently right now, he needs to push and try and cut down the gap between him and Magic Marks. If so, Skunk could take second place today.
Yeah, Skunk is very, very good with his battery. He's charging the battery, so he is up at 81% at the minute. He's pulling away from Schumacher. Excuse me.
He needs to cut down 0.7 of a second to take second place, as John has 9 seconds worth of penalties. Skunk can do it.
John has 9 seconds worth of penalties?
Yeah,
what?
He had 6 seconds and he gained another 3-second time penalty.
Oh, he does. He's 9 seconds. Right, let's check the Magic Man, who is, believe it or not, squeaky clean.
Squeaky clean. What about Skunk? Has Skunk got any?
Skunk only has a warning, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Skunk has 1 warning.
Marco Polo has got a 3-second time penalty. Although Jake Moore has actually managed to catch back up to Marco. So we got a battle for 9th place that's about to unfold, but it's the last lap, so can Jake do it? We have entered the final lap of the Japanese Grand Prix, going into the S section. John is trying his best to open that gap. Hang on, let's go to the leader times. Skunk needs to push.
I was going to say, Primus, real quick, whether John Digweed gets second or whatever happens to him, this has been a fantastic race by John Digweed. He's really shown that he can keep up with the front runners. Like, if you look at that, there's okay, we got first John Digweed, second Magic Mark, third Skunk Burner, fourth Schumacher, fifth Patronus, sixth Peppermint. All very fast drivers. Stretch included there as well. So is Piter. All these are fast drivers. There's John Digweed right up in front of them all. Penalties not. Great showing by John Digweed.
A really great drive, and here we go. So going into 130R, it's the last few corners for the Mercedes of John Digweed after a really good battle for today in the Japanese Grand Prix, even with his penalties. For just a moment at the anyways, unless Marks makes a mistake, John Digweed, he crosses the line and he is the winner of the Japanese Grand Prix. But eyes are on Marks with the penalties. Magic Marks wins the Japanese Grand Prix through penalties. Skunk gets second!
Whoa!
I have to say Skunk's my driver of the day, falling back down to the last place in lap 1. Fights his way back up to second. I have to say Skunk's my driver of the day.
I always say it week in, week out. I'd rather see. I'll wait till the penalty situation sort themselves out. John Digweed third, Schumacher 4, Patronus fifth currently.
It's hard to say. Peppermeat is 6th.
It is very hard.
He made up 8 positions.
Yeah. Let's see what the standings say at the end of the race.
Stretch has still had a unserved 5-second time penalty, although it's not enough though for Paita to take 7th place from Stretch. So let's see if Junior
Marco
can use
and
his
Jake,
math
the
right.
battle in here.
Junior, if we can get right, is the Constructors' Championship settled today? I mean, Marks did win the race, so that's an extra 25 points. That's pushed Racing Point up the Constructors. Obviously, if you guys keep an eye on our Twitter page, you'll see an announcement depending on what's going on. If the Constructors has been settled, we'll make sure that an update on that is going to be provided. Whether or not it's finished, we will let you know. That was a really good race, though, from the lads. I mean, John Digweed did get a podium still. That's his first podium.
Yeah, it's great to see as well. Okay, so now a few invites
Schumacher
here.
made up 6 positions. Peppermeat He made up 8.
Oh, Peppermeat Schumacher.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to give it to Peppermeat. Peppermeat did good. He didn't get to qualify. He didn't get to qualify. He didn't get that luxury, unlike Skunk and Schumacher. Back of the grid.
And no
so
pens.
many things happening.
And no pens.
And
Very,
no penalties.
very important. No
Very
pens.
clean. All right, I'm going to give it to Peppermeat.
Yeah.
You sold
just
me,
scroll
Bodder.
down to the bottom there, just so we have everything.
Oh, yep, sorry. Ah, damn it.
Oh, good. I think everyone else was DNF'd anyway, so I think we're okay.
Yeah, all the under 10th place. Again. Right, so we got our podium sitters, because I know Skunk Bernard doesn't have a microphone. Can John Digweed and Magic Marks please include their audio in the box in the party? Bodder, I'll give you the luxury of choice. Who do you want to interview for today? Do you want to interview John or do you want to interview Marks today?
I'm easy. I am easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Tell you what, because it's John's first podium with us, I'll give it to you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh,
John, John, are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice one, dude. Do you have your little tick box ticked so that everyone else can hear your audio?
I have, yeah.
Oh, nice one. John, congratulations. It's fantastic to hear your voice on the podium. You know, at the start of the season, we were seeing you kind of somewhat as a midfield runner towards like maybe a back marker. But tonight, I said it in the stream, you'll hear it back, but penalties aside, man, that's a fantastic drive to keep up with the likes of the Magic Man, Skunk Burner, Patronus, Schumacher, Stretch, all those guys that are just really, really fast drivers. And not only are you're kind of keeping up with them, at stages you were pulling away from the Magic Man. Dude, how did your race go tonight?
Without the penalties, it would have been good, but yeah, silly penalties, slightly wide here and there.
Yeah.
Just frustrating, but no, it was a good race. It was nice to be up the front for once.
It just seemed like when Magic Mark was in front of you and you were kind of obviously looking at him, your Mercedes, maybe it was your setup or something like that, I don't know, but it just seemed like you didn't suffer from his dirty air. It just seemed like you can get as close as you can to him, but your car did not suffer at all. Was that your setup, or is that maybe your driving style?
A bit of both, really. A pretty decent setup for you. But, no, I didn't feel as bad as I thought it was going to be in his dirty air.
Right. Okay.
No,
Primus,
got the penalties for my
Primus. That's good. Primus, I know who set up. I'm robbing now of time trial for my race now.
Yeah.
I'm robbing John Digweed.
He had really good pace there, John. It was amazing. Cause, in the opening laps, as much as Marks wanted to try and get ahead of you, he was all over the back of him. And that undercut, that move you managed to make, you got ahead of him when he was in the pits. That was incredible. Like, that has probably been one of my favourite moments that you have shown us, John. That one of your best moments is when you've managed to outdo the championship leader in the pits. I know, obviously, with the penalties, it could have. If there was no penalties, it would have been a better result. But I tell you what, mate, third place is still really good for you. But like, that has to be one of my favourite moments for me, because Marks and Skunk normally seem to be indestructible. Normally up the front, they normally can get away. But today, he was giving them no quarter.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was good fun, and fair play to Mark. He stayed within that time. But yeah, one of the frustrating thing is on the first attempt we did before the restart, I kept first place into turn one. On this last one, I lost it to Magic Mark.
Yeah, we did twice. You kept it front twice.
Yeah, but oh well, podium's still good with the podium. Happy with that.
Well done, John. That was a really, really good run. Obviously, we can't interview second place because he doesn't have a microphone. So, Skunk Burner, he's second place.
Skunk.
Well, we have to wait
Get
and
a
see.
mic, Skunk. Come on.
I mean, we managed to get Tidgasaurus a mic in F1.
Hold on a second. Mark, can you not just magic up some type of microphone and just like teleport it to Skunk? Come on, you're good mates. Surely you can do that.
I made his mic disappear, mate, because I can't stand his voice. So.
Or you just say, if you can somehow like fashion a mic, all you're just going to hear is like a click, help me, and then just mute.
Yeah. The magic man
They've got
strikes
me.
again.
Anyways, let's go on to the
Good
Magic
job,
Man,
John Digweed.
the race
Yeah, well
winner.
done.
Thank you.
So it was a bit of a tough start. Obviously, you was fighting John pretty much the entire race, but Skunk Burner, he was behind you for the race start, but then Skunk Burner fell all the way down the grid and then managed to fight his way back up to second place after John's penalties. But still, it's a very, very good drive. But it looks like you weren't able to open up the gap like you normally do in our usual races there, Mark. So please let us know how things were for you.
Yeah, first of all, I just want to say congrats to John Dittway on his first, win / second. Well
Excellent.
done there. It was a nightmare from the start because we restarted twice. I forgot to put my setup on, so I had a standard setup. So, and that's why I was struggling, but it still felt okay. But I didn't load my setup up. But then when John Dittway overtook me in the pits, I checked to see if he had any penalties, and he had, I think it was 6 seconds at the time, or it may be. And I thought, right, okay, I can stay within 6 seconds of him, don't have to push. And then I just tried to manage my ERS, and 1 minute it was 3 seconds, then it was 5 seconds. I'm like, oh my God, if he gets his 6 seconds. And then I checked his penalties again, and he had 9 seconds. So I thought, right, I can take it easy now. So I just stayed out of get corner cutting out like that. Just I didn't want to get any penalties. Because I knew it, I could, if I finished within 9 seconds, I won't race. And I will quite lucky that Skunk did spin out early, or whatever happened to him. I don't want to happen to him. But this is his favourite track, so I'm quite lucky he wasn't right behind me, because I think he would have. Well, he did catch me right towards the end to say he come from 12th or wherever he come from. But yeah, well done to him as well. But yeah, I'm definitely happy with first. Definitely.
I'm just going to throw in there, Mark.
Yeah.
We're going to have a little look into it after the race. There is a possibility that maybe, because Brundle didn't finish and Stretch finished down in 7th and you did take the win, obviously your battle with Skunk Burner continues in the Drivers' Championship, but I think, and it's a slight hunch, because I'm going to try and do the math, I think you might have just wrapped up the Constructors' Championship. I don't know. Again, to the viewers and drivers, it's yet to be confirmed. We're going to have a little look at it and try and work out some math. Keep an eye on our Twitter, and that's where you'll see the announcement if the championship battle for F2 will continue to Mexico or if it's been settled now and today. But
yeah, great. That'll be
there
good.
is a possibility, though, Marks, that you might. Racing Point might be the Constructors' Champions. Obviously, do not quote me on it just yet. It's still yet to be confirmed.
No, I think someone's saying no, it's not happening.
Well, I think it was 108 points, weren't we, or something like that before the race, something like that.
Yeah,
an
still
additional
plenty
25
of points to play for, as well. Someone's saying there. Look, I'm no mathematician, but have to get someone
better.
smarter
Longer
than me
the better.
than do that.
But still, a very, very good drive. Skunk did really good to recover from, besides third.
Skunk Burner.
Yeah, he fell down to pretty much like plumb last.
Skunk Burner's going on holiday in 2 weeks.
Oh no, are you serious?
Oh.
Yeah, he's going to miss the last 2 races, I think.
Oh no, that might just do him in. He's
he's
2 wins behind you.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, because even if Skunk wins the next 2 races, you're still ahead. Bodder.
Yes.
What's the gap between first place and third in the championship?
First place and third.
Knowing Skunk, he'll probably take his wheel abroad.
Well, currently, before tonight, it was Magic Mark with a 50-point lead over Skunk Burner, and then in third place was Schumacher, who was 79 points shy of first.
It's hard to say.
It's very hard to say. You have to wait till it goes through the standings, guys, and see how they do it. And any penalties that might need to be applied and all that type of thing. Like, we can't call it till we know it. You know what I mean?
Because right
Like,
now,
we're not like Channel 4 or the Sky Sports who have suddenly a program where you just input into it and go, oh yeah, he's won. We don't have that.
Right now, Skunk, even though Skunk is doing really, really well and catching up, I mean, he's had 3 consecutive wins. Even if Skunk wins the next 2 races, it won't be enough. So in reality now, your championship battle has shifted from Skunk to Schumacher.
Schumacher, yeah.
So the battle is on.
I didn't want him to go. Racing comes first, I say.
I remember when you broke your fingers and the main concern was
exactly,
and it was like, oh my god, I broke my fingers. You're like, oh crap, I've got a race going on later. Well, that is it really, unless Bodo, have you got any more questions for John or Marks before we wrap up tonight?
Nope. All good. Congrats, John. Special mention to yourself, dude. It's great to see you on the podium. Great to be talking to you. Hopefully see more of you on the podium.
You were very quick, by the way, John. You were really quick on that track then.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Did put a bit more effort into this one, but yeah, congrats to you with the win.
Well, congrats to both of you for really outstanding driving. But to go over the classifications one more time before we wrap up for tonight, 3rd place is John Digweed, 2nd is Skunk Burner, and the race winner today is Magic Marks in the Racing Point. And driver of the day has gone to Peppermeat for not being able to qualify because of joining in late and still managing to bring home a 6th place finish. So well done to Peppermeat. And even though we had a couple of restarts, I'd like to say thank you very much to our viewers for your patience and the drivers as well. Also, thank you to Bodo as well for helping sort everything out when had a little couple of moments.
Oh, dude, I never mind. Sure, I was just drinking away here. It didn't really bother me at all.
I heard that beer crack. As soon as I heard the sound of that can crack, I was like, hey, he's celebrating.
It's Suzuka, why not?
Yeah, exactly. And it's been a good day. I mean, a couple of restarts, but amazing battles nonetheless. But anyways, that's been me and Bodo again for F2. Please join us next week for F2 Mexico. But the next race that's coming up is on Tuesday with the F1 guys. So please, guys, tune in on Tuesday at 8 p.m. and let's see and just have a little look how they're doing. But anyways, thank you for joining us. Thank you for your patience, and we'll see you in the next one.